Yo, yo, yo. Let me just fix this. Yo, what's happening, guys? Hope everyone's having a great day. How's everyone's day? Let me know. Just let me know if my microphone is okay. I did order a new microphone. I did order a green screen and everything. So by tomorrow or the next day, I should have everything sorted. So just let me know if this is okay. It might be a little bit buggy, but yeah, by tomorrow or the next day, everything should be sorted, and I'll get some lights as well. So just let me know if it's okay, and then we'll get started. All right. Let me know if the microphone's all good, and then we can get going. But yeah, there's a lot to go through today, guys. There's a lot to go through. There's a lot of news today. There's a lot of news this week, actually, and there's also some stuff I want to speak about with obviously the altcoins, because altcoins kind of not really doing anything. They the whole week they've kind of just been ranging, which is why we haven't really got any setups. So I'm kind of just waiting for the confirmation that we need. Okay, so we're gonna go over a whole bunch of things within this live stream. Yeah, so let's just see if we can get a few more people in here and we can get going. Having a great day. Yeah, I'm doing great, guys. I'm doing great. I'm waiting for a lot of setups, I'll be honest with you. Like the whole week, I think you guys have noticed, like, we haven't traded that much this week. And it's mainly due to the fact that there's just nothing really giving us anything. The only thing that I'm looking at right now is obviously this we're looking at Aave, right? And basically we did get that break of trend, but the problem is we did not break above this previous level over here. So what I'm waiting for is I want to see this previous 4-hour candle close above 317.47, which is basically this level over here, and then I'll be looking at a potential long. But right now I'm just not really interested in going long, although we did break trend. I do want to see price get above here, and then I'll be looking at potentially going long. First TP would be these highs over here, and then next TP would be like these highs over here. Stop loss would just be below this previous low over here, right? So it's a good risk to reward. But the thing is, right now we did not close above the key level, right? So yeah, we did break trend, which is fine, but I want to see price get above this 317.47. You can see price has been struggling throughout this level multiple times, right? You can see right over here, we couldn't close above the zone. We couldn't close above the zone. We got rejected from the zone multiple times, guys. So we have to, for my strategy, I need to see price close above that zone in order for me to take the longs. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at for Aave. But for now, I'm not really interested in taking this. But I do see where a lot of people will be going long off this this retest of this trend line, right? But the problem is, for me, this is just resistance that we can't really take the trade right now. I have to wait for price to obviously break this level, and then I'll be interested in taking these setups. Okay, so the markets is dead boring. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's so boring right now. Like I did get into SWE, right? If you guys remember the other day, I did post this setup, and this was my buy zone for SWE. I do think it's a good, we got a good entry, right? I got it in like 3 point, let me check my phone. I got 3.185, I think, my entry. Let me check. Yeah, 3.185, 1854. So basically, what I'm looking at here is also just waiting for price to close above 3.4221, and that would confirm price to go higher. But you can see price is still getting rejected from that trend line. Okay, so we did get a good entry. It's looking quite good, but it's a low leverage trade. Like, I'm literally on a 5x leverage here, guys. So there's nothing too special. But essentially, what I want to see is I just want to see price break this trend and also close above this 3.4222 level, right? And that's an important level for me because this is your previous resistance, right? Your previous support / resistance. You can see our price was holding this level of support, and then what happened is we flipped into resistance, and there's also a bearish fair value gap that needs to obviously get taken out in order for this to continue higher. Okay, so I am still in this trade. The problem is right now there's just so much news this week, right? We have jolts at 4 p.m. today, which is my time, so in around about 6 hours, and then tomorrow we have unemployment claims, and then also Friday is gonna be crazy, guys. So Friday we got non-farm payrolls, so that's going to be a crazy, because that's the problem with a lot of traders, they come into this market and the market's boring. So then you start getting bored and you start trading, right? And then that's when you start losing a lot of money, because I just think just wait for these setups. Like I've been waiting the whole week, and I'll be patient, right? Because the thing is, if you're patient, you will get rewarded, right? So I'm just gonna be patient and wait for these setups. Like, are there, it looks cool to enter now off this trend line retest, but there's a high probability that we can just get rejected from this level, right? There is a high probability, which is why I want to see price close above this level. Okay, we still got 3 hours and 27 minutes until that. So we'll see what happens, but it's all about just waiting and kind of just chilling in a way. So that's what I'll be waiting for Aave. You can see the structure is looking really good though. I do like how it bounced from this level here. We did break trend, but yeah, we have to close above there. Okay, so that's really important for me. All right. Another trade that we did I got into as well as ICP. I really like ICP on the daily time frame. I like how we did pretty much take out these lows over here, and we did kind of reset. So I will be holding this one for long, because I do think ICP can easily get back up to this range high. And then obviously once we get that break of trend, I'll probably look to add. So essentially what I'd wait for is I'm in this trade from here pretty much at break even in a way. My entry a little bit in profit, like I think 3% profit, because my leverage was so low. But essentially 5.050 is we're going to add to that position, right? If price can break out of here, and then we get a close above 5.050, then cool, we can go long again, right? So this is where I would add to this position, right? So I'll quickly type that in. Whoops. So I will add when we close 4 hour candle above, what is it? 5.050. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So this is where I would add to the position, okay? But until then, I'm not really interested in adding to this position, okay? Because the problem is we are still below trend. This is basically, I'm front running the breakout, okay? I'm front running the breakout. I do think that it could play out. But the problem is, in order for me to have more conviction or add more to this trade, add more margin, add more risk, I want to see price close above this level on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so until then, it's kind of just a waiting game. Right? Like the whole week's been a waiting game. It's been a terrible week for trading. I'll be honest with you. I don't know about you guys, but like I've barely taken any trades this week. I'm just in a couple swing longs. And the reason why I'm in a couple swing longs is because of this chart. Have a look at this, guys. I don't want to see this new product, bro. Okay, there we go. Look at this, right? Look at this setup here. So basically, guys, on the right-hand side, we have Ethereum, okay? So we have Ethereum, and look what happens. So if we draw the Fibonacci from this high over here to this low, okay? We have the 0.5 level right over here, okay? Right over here, okay? And then if we draw like a price range bar, from this level over here to over here, it's around about 49 days, and then we had that explosive move, right? So same thing, if you look at others, so others is on the left-hand side over here, right? We draw the Fibonacci from this high over here to this low over here. We have the exact same level over here, the 0.5 level, as you can see. And then if you draw the bar from right over here, so similar to Ethereum to here, around about 49 days. So I'm expecting, potentially this could be a bit of an explosive move within the next 1 or 2 weeks, right? And I do think it's possible. I honestly think it's possible. So it's correlating really, really well. Remember, Ethereum moves first, and then the altcoins move after, right? And it takes a bit of time. So I think a lot of people, they think, oh, Ethereum's moved, the altcoins are meant to follow. But yeah, that is true. But it might take more time than a lot of people expect, right? Because the thing is, the whole thing with the market is, a lot of people, they want to liquidate people in order before, pushing price up, right? So if the market's not just going to go up, we're going to have to see price, take out the lows, take out the highs, liquidate a whole bunch of people before we actually move in the desired direction, right? So yeah, I'm looking. I mean, this looks super good for me. Like, honestly, this is for me personally. I'm not telling you guys what to do, but I think we're in a time right now where I'm looking to scale into some swing long positions. I'll be honest with you. Looking at the others charts and comparing it to Ethereum, just like they look identical in my eyes, right? So what are your guys' thoughts on this chart? Like, I think it looks super correlated. So I just saw this today, and then I did a bit of analysis on it. It was from Crypto Bullets. I don't know if you guys follow that guy, but Crypto Bullets, he posted. I don't want to take his stuff, so that's why I'm quoting him. But I saw this and I was like, yeah, this looks super good. So, I'm waiting for a bit of a breakout here, but I think accumulating some positions before could be the option, right? And you go, basically what I like to do is I like to go low risk, and then once we get the confirmations that I was speaking about for like ICP, right? Once we get the confirmation that we close above here, then I would add more risk to the trade, and then our entry for this trade would be, instead of the entry being here, right? Instead of the entry being at 5.05, because we've entered here, our average cost would probably be over here, right? So I'm kind of just scaling into some swing long positions, just so we can potentially get that move, right? Like Aave, can you see Aave, guys? Can you see right now? This is why we don't enter trades based on just trend line, right? Because, okay, cool, we could actually pump through this level, but the problem is we are still below resistance, right? I want to see price get above this level, close above here, and then we can go for the long, right? It's just right now the market's too chopped. I don't think we're going to see much until the news later. Yeah, Jolt's job openings is quite important. You'll see quite a lot of volatility. I'll be honest with you guys. So, maybe we're gonna have to wait for that. I hope not, because this week's been super boring. I'll be honest with you. Like, the market has done absolutely zero this week. It's kind of just chopped around. You can scalp these levels, but it's super hard. And personally, like, I'd rather wait for like a directional trade, even for a scalp, right? I do think that we are quite bullish in terms of the altcoins, but we have to get some breakouts, otherwise it's just not really valid. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on the current situation, and also, like, if we do look at Bitcoin here, with monthly returns, September is quite a bearish month. On average it's -3%. The median is like -3%. Nothing too bad. But then you take October, guys, and you take October and you take November. So that's kind of why I'm looking to potentially sell most of my crypto, like, at the end of October, beginning of November, around about those dates, because I think we're going to see within the next month or two, I think we're going to see a massive move for the altcoins. Okay, I think a lot of people are just very, very, like, depressed in terms of looking at the charts right now. They're getting a bit of, they're just getting bored of the market right now, and that's when a lot of people lose out, right? So I think you always have to lock in, right? Even though the market's boring, you always have to lock in and just prepare for what can happen, right? So we know that October is potentially, guys, there's only been 2 bearish months in October, and I don't think this is going to be a bearish month in October. I'll be honest with you. We have a median average. This is Bitcoin return, right? So if Bitcoin is doing this and then the dominance of Bitcoin goes down, I actually want to speak about Bitcoin dominance just now as well. But think about it, right? So if the average median return for Bitcoin is 21% in October, and then Bitcoin dominance goes down, and then we see others, this chart break out, I mean, it's just going to be crazy, right? So I'm locked in. I think September might just be a bit of a chop. I think the altcoins could potentially bounce from these levels, which is why I'm looking at swing longs, guys. I'm not really interested in shorting anyway right now in terms of like swing shorts. But in terms of longs, there's a couple that we've spoken about already. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So yeah, I'm very interested in this. I'll be honest with you. I'm very, very interested in others here, guys. If this can follow what Ethereum did, I think we're gonna see a big, big move. Okay, I don't want to be that bullish guy. I'm not really that person. I'm very neutral when it comes to trading. But when you see, when you see correlations like this, and you don't really see it often, right? You literally don't really see it often. So it'll be super important to get a breakout here for others, and hopefully this happens very, very soon. Okay, so that's my thoughts on that. If we have a look at Bitcoin, I mean, I was looking for a long yesterday for Bitcoin, and then we had that. I didn't actually take this trade, but I was looking to long Bitcoin back up to these highs. But there was a massive liquidity sweep, and then actually ended up flipping bullish here. And then if you look at the lower time frame, from the 1 hour time frame, you can still see we're still below this previous level over here. So Bitcoin's just chopping around, not really doing anything. What I would look at for Bitcoin today, potentially we can look for a breakout above 11,500. That would be interesting. But for now, not really interested. I'll be honest with you. There's just like nothing really you can do here. Right now the problem is with the market. You can see, okay, we did break this low over here. There's just nothing really we can do. I would want to see the 1 hour candle close above like 1,500, because most of you guys do know like my trading style, more of a breakout strategy. So can't really take a trade when we're just chilling in the mid range here. I'd want to see price, close above this level, and then we can look for continuation longs. Okay, so Bitcoin kind of just lurking, not really doing anything. I'll be honest with you. Ondo kind of pumps there as well. That was weird. So Ondo is looking decent, but if we have a look at the weekly, let's actually just have a look at Ondo here, because we are getting quite a nice move here. So if you have a look at Ondo, obviously we have this gap being respected on the weekly time frame. So essentially this is our bullish gap. But the problem is with Ondo, what I don't like about it is that we couldn't even break above this previous high here. So price to actually continue going higher, we need to see like a candle close above this wick over here, right? Because if you look at this is showing us that it's just a rejection zone, right? So even though it is just a wick, it's just not really valid, right? But if you look at the daily time frame, you can see, okay, well, there is a potential for a trendline breakout over here to the upside. So this is what I'm looking at. Essentially, if we can get a breakout above this trend, then cool, we can look for potential longs. But the problem is the weekly time frame just doesn't look that great. I would want to see, the 1.1359 level. I need to see a close above that level in order for like this to continue higher. But for now, yeah, it's a little bit chopped. I'll be honest with you. It's not really anything I can really do here in terms of like my strategy. I think some people might see something different, but for me, the weekly time frame it's just not cutting it for me. I'll be honest with you. We are respecting this bullish fair value gap, which is fine. There's obviously a huge level of support here as well, but we still range bound here, so just not really valid for me, in my opinion. Okay, so SPX, what's actually looking decent is ENA. I was looking at this yesterday. So ENA also got quite a nice move, also got a nice little daily breakout as well. So if you have a look at this on the 4 hour time frame, have a look at this, right? So if you look at this with the trend line, remember trend lines, guys, just show you the liquidity, like where the liquidity is lying, right? We actually did get a breakout this morning. So honestly, if you could probably draw this trend line like this, right? So we did get a breakout. We got a retest. We are holding above this previous level over here, and we did get a retest of this 0.66 level. But the problem is, if we have a look at the lower time frames, let's have a look here. We'll go down to the 1 hour time frame to see what's happening. But there's just too much for me with charts that look like this, where there's just a lot of resistance and support within like a zone. It's super hard to get an entry because there's a lot of potential that let's just say you're looking for long and there's a lot of resistance to upside. Your risk to reward on that trade is not going to be the best, right? So what you want to see, you almost want to see like a balance like this. So like essentially, like if we go back like this, right? And then if you're looking for a short, right, this is what you want to do, what you want to look for, right? You would want to short from this level over here, okay? And you have your target at these lows over here, right? Like this is what you want to be looking for. But when you have a whole bunch of resistance like this, it just doesn't make sense for me personally. But yeah, essentially right now I do think ENA is looking good though, but I'm not really interested in it. Although it does look like we did get a breakout here on the 4 hour and the daily time frame. So I'm more focused on Aave, right? I'm looking at this, guys. Aave looks super good. Aave looks super good, but we have to wait for that 31747, and then we've also got which one? SWE. So we also looking at SWE as well. So we got a nice little entry for SWE, more of a swing long entry the other day. But yeah, same thing with SWE, right? Get above 3.42. That's when we're gonna actually go more aggressive and add more to that trade. So that's that, and then also ICP as well. A 4-hour candle close above 5.05, and these are all the trades that I'm looking at for like today, and then for this week. Because the thing is, right now there's just not much happening. There isn't much happening because a lot of coins are just below the key levels. So yeah, it's a bit of a waiting game right now. It's a bit of, this week's been so boring. Oh, it's charts. My bad. Yeah, so those are the key trades. Okay, so what are you guys looking at? Let me know. I'm gonna have a look at some questions now. Let me know what you guys are looking at, what charts. Where do you think ETH low would be in before going all-time high for swing trade? Do you see our comment sections? Yeah, I can see your comments. I'm just looking at them now. Yeah, what coins you guys looking at? Let me know. Can you check AR? Can you check out ICP? I've done that. I'll have a look at Ethereum again and tell you what I'm thinking. I'll have a look at AR. I do read comments. Yeah, I do read comments. Sorry, I'm not in my setup at the moment. I've ordered a whole bunch of stuff, so that's what I'm saying. Tomorrow I should get a new setup with like everything, with my monitors and all that. So for now it's a little bit choppy, like the markets. But tomorrow we will have a better setup and everything will be a lot better. So let's have a look at Ethereum. Basically for ETH, yeah, you also if you have a look at ETH as well, it's also forming a bit of a trend line as well over here, right? So essentially with ETH, you could also wait for that. Ethereum right now is currently at support. Okay, so it is currently at support. So in order for continuation, you could just wait for price to break trend as well. So that's what I'll wait for Ethereum. You could potentially look at these lows over here. I don't think we're going to tap these lows at like 4,000, but there is also this level over here. 3,800, 3,900 is potential. So if we do lose the support here, then there is a potential that we do come a little bit lower. There is a potential that we do come a little bit lower over here, and then you could look at the longs off that level. But the problem is right now, I'm more focused in getting these breakouts. I'll be honest with you. I'm more focused on getting these breakout trades because I really like the look of this others chart, and I do think it's going to play out eventually within the next couple of weeks, guys. So it's important if you want to get some swing longs. These are the moments that you have to get in, right? Because you can hold these throughout the whole of the whole of October, the whole of November, and then you get that massive move to the upside, right? So holding trades in September, I think is a good way to set yourself up for good gains. That's just my personal opinion, and that's what I've done in a previous cycle. So WFL outlook, please. Okay, cool. I'll have a look at AR as well. Right, let's have a look. So let's have a look at WL. Let's have a look at what's happening here. There we go. I think this is a bit, yeah. I mean, let's have a look. We can look at the median turn. Okay. So if we have a look at this on the lower time frames, I mean, I'm literally on the 1 hour time frame here. We obviously are holding this level here. So this is going to be your support. So if we lose this level here on the 1 hour time frame, then honestly, we probably going to see lower prices, right? But if we have a look over here, there is this level over here that looks super interesting, right? Let's see if we can bring this back over here. Yeah, have a look at this level here, guys. So you can see whenever we do close above this level, we come down and respect the zone, right? Same thing with over here. We closed below this level, we came up and respected it perfectly with that wick. So, WLFI, like honestly, this is a level that I'd probably look at for continuation, right? So it's going to be essentially, if we can hold above this zone over here at 0.2523, that would be a key zone, okay? So what you want to see is, you want to see price obviously hold this current level right over here, okay? You want to see price hold this level, Oh, why does my screen keep freezing, bro? Yeah, it's yeah. I'm gonna sort this out for tomorrow. I do apologize, guys. I don't know what's happening. It's the monitor is just going crazy. I need to sort this out. So essentially, guys, what we need to wait for here is we need to see price hold this level. If price can hold this level, then we can look for continuation longs. Okay. But for now, I'm not really interested. Although it is holding support, you could potentially look for a long and put a stop loss just below here, and then TPs above here. But personally, like I like to wait for price to actually close above or below key levels in order for me to take trades. So I'd rather wait for like 0.2523 to get taken out. Yeah, does that make sense? So I think right now, guys, it's best to just sit on your hands. We'll go over AR quickly, but I honestly think just wait for news today. Wait for the news to come out today, and then we reevaluate. Right? I'm in ICP, I am in SWE, and I am in what was the other one? Oh no, I'm not in Aave yet. I'm looking at Aave though. Yeah, so AR got absolutely wrenched the other day. Remember, I think we were speaking about this. So we've lost. Let's have a look at this. So that was a weekly, yeah. So we've actually look at AR, guys. So AR actually did lose this weekly level. I think I remember this was basically that move took out all the lows. I need to see the weekly candle close bullish back above 6.34. If we can close the weekly candle this week bullish above 6.34, then I'll be looking for a long back up to 8.65. Okay, but the problem is on the lower time frame is we did lose that daily trend. Okay, and we did actually take out these lows, which is actually a good thing in terms of a bullish scenario, because in a bullish scenario you want to see price take out previous lows and then flip bullish, and then we can potentially look for longs, because that's how the market works, right? The market needs orders in order for price to continue going higher. Okay, so for now we can't really do anything because price is still below this key level, right? So like essentially we're below resistance. So we do actually have this daily trend as well that we can also follow. So that would correlate perfectly with our thesis on the weekly time frame, right? And have a look at the 4 hour as well. So the 4 hour correlates beautifully with the daily and the weekly time frame. So I do like the look of this, I'll be honest with you. Let me just remove all this weird stuff. I don't like looking at the screen box, I'll be honest with you. Let's move that. So essentially here, yeah, this is what I would wait for, right? So we have resistance / support sitting right over here. Bang. All right. So this is going to be the level. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay. So I like what you're looking at for AR. I understand why you want me to go there AR, but yeah, 6.5, guys. We get a 4 hour close above there, and then we're cruising. So it's all about waiting, guys. I'm literally not interested in taking these longs right now. I'll be honest with you. The only one that I'm in is ICP and SWE. But in terms of AR, wait for price to close the 4 hour candle above 6.5, and then you can look for a big move to the upside, right? And I'm going to speak about this for the next couple of weeks with others versus Ethereum chart, because honestly, I think this is the chart right now to keep your eyes on. Yeah. So yeah, I do like the look of this. Yeah, my screen, bro. What are your thoughts on the news coming this week? Yeah, I mean, so we have job openings, so we have that today. It's good. It's obviously we need some type of news, guys, because the market this week has been super flat, super boring. So we do need something to give us a bit of a push, even if it's bearish. It will give us something, right? We can take out the lows. We can look for a reversal, or we can potentially look for shorts. We just need something because we don't really have anything right now. So honestly, I don't really know what's going to happen with the news. I do think that it's going to be more bullish than bearish, just based looking at the charts. But we'll see what happens. So yeah, I'll make sure tomorrow, guys, everything will be fixed. I do apologize for the screen and stuff today. So tomorrow we will have everything back and ready and up and running, because I did order a couple of things. But yeah.